Okay, here we go with the box office top 10. At 1958, Dan Air on YouTube says, Nouvelle Vague is a very enjoyable film that goes some way to capturing the spirit of the time and the feeling that you could just go out and shoot a movie. Also, how frustrating it must have been to work with J.L.G.
Yeah, exactly. Jean-Luc.
Number 36 is Kangaroo. Bronwyn says, thank God Easter MTL FDE in Melbourne. Listening to Take Two this week and your review of Kangaroo, which is set in Broome, Western Australia. I thought it might be interesting to know that Broome, which is more than 2,000 kilometres north of Western America's Australia's capital, Perth, so that's 2,000 kilometres north, is home to the world's oldest outdoor picture garden, the Sun Picture Theatre. Built in 1903 in Broome's Chinatown area, the town has a very multicultural history due to the pearl farming for which it is famous in Australia. The cinema is still running and is a great place to visit. Its history is fascinating. It is possibly the only cinema in the world where patrons had to deal with tidal flooding from the adjacent mudflats by lifting their feet off the ground when the tide came in. Fortunately, a levee was built in the 1970s to solve this problem. Until 1967, you get this, so that's 1967, the cinema shamefully was racially segregated.
No.
I didn't know this happened
1967?
in Australia, with non-whites, Australian First Nations people, Japanese, Malays, were also supposed to do the most dangerous work of diving for pearls, were required to use a separate entrance and sit in a separate area.
Wow.
When you visit the cinema, there is a great little museum with a lot of film memorabilia and photos. I have to, Bronwyn, thank you very much. I mean, I didn't even know that happened at all, ever, in Australia. My favourite part, she says, is that the cinema is very close to Broome's airport, and patrons are warned that planes may suddenly appear overhead throughout the film as they're departing or arriving at the airport. The last time I was there, in 2023, I saw Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Perfect, as it made no difference that no less than 3 flights blocked out sections of the dialogue for a few minutes. I guess that's, if you're going to go and see a film outdoors, that's what's going to happen. Tinkety Tonkin up with Johnny Greenwood scores sublime, says Bronwyn. Thank you very much. Number 29 in the charts, and number 3, inexplicably, Melania then. So anyway, that film is, which we should just refer to as that film, is at number 29. Anyway, now we get into the box office top 10.
Good.
Is This Thing On?
Yeah.
Is at number 10, number 29 in America. JC says, long-term listener, second-time emailer, I wanted to share my thoughts on Is This Thing On? Like Simon, I have a child who's tried stand-up. So I took him to see it, thinking he'd enjoy a look at that world. He'd seen the trailer and hoped for insights into the comedy scene, since he's not yet old enough to go to those clubs. So there's obviously quite a difference between your kid, JC, and mine. After the film, I asked what he thought, and his response surprised me. He said the trailer didn't reflect the movie at all. He expected a story about the struggle to make it as a comic, but instead it was more about self-help, the end of a long-term relationship, and the impact on a family. He also wished there'd be more material about Will Arnett's stand-up writing, especially after hearing your interview. It reminded me a bit of American Fiction, where the trailer emphasised the absurd satire, but the film itself focused much more on family dynamics. I personally enjoyed the film, though I disagree with Mark about the direction being unobtrusive.
Okay.
I found the camera getting so close to Will Arnett distracting, and Bradley Cooper's appearance felt unnecessary. Presumably that's a reference to the fact he wore a hat indoors at the end. I also can't understand why this film was set in America, considering it's meant to be about John Bishop's life, and think if it had been set in the UK, it would have been funnier. That said, I did like the nod to Liverpool Football Club. Keep up the good work, and so on. And I didn't see the trailer, and it may well be that it gave a wrong impression, but it was always going to be a family getting back together, of which stand-up was the glue that sort of put them back together.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it very much, and it's inspired by the John Bishop story, but it's very much its own story.
Number 9 here, number 10.
Number
10 in America is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, which you talked a lot about. And in Take Two, there's a lot of stuff about Bone Temple.
Yeah.
Number 8 here, number 14 in Canada, Primate. The King of Old School on YouTube says it was a rubbish usual studio. I think you mean dumping ground. You wrote dumbing ground, but anyway, dumping ground, January release. But I did enjoy it. In a leave my brain at the door kind of way. My friend, who is deaf, was impressed with the representation of the deaf character on screen, though, so credit to the film's British writer and director. But that's Primate at number 8.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I think that leave your brain at the door, leave your brain on the floor. I mean, there is a lot of head-smashing fun in it, and it does exactly what it says on the tin.
Stephen Clancy in Kobe, Japan. Earlier this year, I was contacted by Paramount about using a song we made being used in the upcoming movie Primate. Oh, yeah. It's a happy little song about a crab walking to the left and then walking to the right that is used in kindergartens during English class. Unfortunately, we can't see the movie yet because the release date for Japan isn't until late February. I'm hoping your review can help us decide whether we go on a class trip to watch it together. I hear a man gets his face ripped off. Stephen Clancy.
It's very 18. It's very 18. Very 18.
Do you remember a song about a crab walking to the left and walking to the right?
I don't immediately off the top of my head. So I do remember the man's face being ripped off.
Maybe it's in, Stephen. Maybe it's not. Get back in touch once you've seen the film. Marty Supreme is at 7.
I liked it very much. And I mentioned, but I hosted the London Critics Circle Film Awards on Saturday. Yeah, Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor.
Number 6 here, number 6 there, Avatar, Fire and Ash.
And he laughed at my joke.
Number 5 here, number 4 over there, Zootropolis 2.
He laughed at many of my jokes, in fact.
Number 4 here, number 2 in America is Iron Lung.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen Iron Lung.
Josh in Doncaster. This email is sent preemptively, as I assume Iron Lung will break into the top 10 this week. On the idea that a film is shaped by what you bring to it. If Mark hasn't seen Iron Lung,
I haven't.
It's based on the 2022 indie game of the same name and made almost entirely by YouTuber Markiplier,
okay.
Markiplier, I think, which is one word, who wrote, directed, financed, edited, and stars in it. In the story, an event called the Quiet Rapture wipes out all planets, stars, and life, leaving only around 1,000 survivors. Convicts are then sent in cramped iron lung submarines to explore oceans of blood on distant moons. I mean, obviously you need a submarine for that, and quickly discover they're not alone. Many have called the film slow for its first hour, but I suffer from thalassophobia, fear of deep bodies of water. So the moment we descended into that blood ocean, I was sweating.
I can imagine.
The next 2 hours were pure anxiety, claustrophobic shots of the sub, long stretches of isolation, oxygen depletion and guilt, all building a constant sense of dread. Even though most of the film is just the protagonist navigating and taking photos, it absolutely worked on me. For a self-funded directorial debut, it's impressively made with strong direction, great sound design, and genuinely tense moments. I'd love Mark to watch it if he hasn't already.
Yeah.
Thank you for the hours of entertainment. So,
didn't come up as a national press
but it's
show.
Number 2 in America, number 4 here.
So it is distributed by Iron Lung Inc. So can we get in touch with Iron Lung Inc. and see whether we can get a... Great, cool. All right, in that case, I'll watch it.
You might have to pay and go back to that cinema in Islington.
Yeah, I would feel perfectly fine about paying for an actual movie.
But that's incredible for a film to be... top 4 here, number 2 in America. And
remarkable.
It's entirely made by a YouTuber.
Remarkable.
Number 3 here, 5 over there, Shelter. Tim says...
Statham.
As a long-time fan of the show,
yeah.
I just wanted to tell you about a film that I worked on last year. I was the production designer on Shelter.
Very good.
I know you're very aware of the hard work that the art department puts into making it.
I am.
For Shelter, we built a full-size lighthouse on a cliff in Southern Ireland, the boathouse on a beach at the bottom of the cliff in the middle of winter, which was a challenge. We also built the exterior and interior living quarters, amongst others. I've supervised a lot of films, but this was my first feature film I designed, and I'm really proud of it. I'm sending you this email for no other reason than I hope you see the film and that you like the design. I was the supervising art director on Hamnet just before I started on Shelter.
Wow.
And had the same fantastic art department team with me. Here's the connection, we even reused a lot of the same oak beams from Hamlet's house and the Globe for our builds on Shelter.
Very good.
We have been nominated for Hamnet at the BFDG Awards.
Which I'm presenting.
So if you are doing the ceremony in February this year, hopefully I'll be shaking your hand again.
I will definitely be using that bit of... I mean, the whole thing about recycling stuff when making sets is a really, really big thing now because they are trying very, very hard to make movie sets, green. And that is one of the ways of doing it, is that you recycle the stuff.
So that's the connection between Hamnet and Statham.
Yes.
There you
Statham.
Go. So, Tim, thank you very much indeed. And did you admire the design?
I did.
Of Shelter?
Yeah, and I did enjoy Shelter.
Number 2 here, number 8 over there is The Housemaid.
I mean, it's done much better than I expected. It's rompingly ripe stuff, but it has done very, very well.
And number 1 here, 11 over there is Hamnet.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this more when we talk about awards later on. There is a lot of best film momentum now behind Hamnet.
Sarah says, greetings from the Falklands, Congregation 2. Okay, so I imagine that's the iWitter app.
Okay.
Shows two listeners on the Falkland Islands.
Yeah.
Where we tend to see films a little bit later than the UK, and especially recently as the cinema's projector was broken over Christmas, and we had to wait for a part to make its way 8,000 miles south from the UK before it could be repaired. However, all was well just in time to see Hamnet. I was a bit worried going in as I'd forgotten to take any tissues, and generally, like Mark, will cry at anything vaguely emotional. So given its reputation, I was expecting to be a bit of a weepy mess. I was surprised to find it didn't make me cry at all, and I wasn't sure why. Later, I listened to Mark's review where he said that the film was trying so hard to be emotional that it left him cold. And I definitely agree. Although the acting is strong and there are things to like about the film, the emotional tone of it is very high at the start and it doesn't vary much. Disappointingly for me, the film was much less successful than the book. Oh, I see. I think that means in telling its story, because it is very, very successful. However, I'm glad I saw it. Sarah, and because the internet is so slow in the Falklands, we still get our film on actual reels, not digital downloads. Thanks to Farzan, who looks after projection, ticket sales, and all things film in Stanley.
Wow.
All right, so hello to all our listeners. Two of them.
Both of them, I think is the phrase you're looking for.